Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachacha, Quadash, the born and city apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, that I pray that you find edifying. And things are happening at a very escalated rate, and prophecies are constantly going off daily. Blessed are your eyes for they see, and blessed are your ears for they hear. But for those 2/3 Jakes, they're not going to hear it, nor are they going to see it coming. And they're not going to understand where it's coming from. But one thing is for sure, they're going to learn very early, and some of them it may be too late, or some of them might not even realize it at all, that their enemy, Esau Edom, is about to come in like a flood, because he sees his kingdom falling. Everything that he has held so dear, he sees crumbling before his eyes. But he hasn't made a move yet, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has not given him the go-ahead to do so. But things are being put in place for him to go all out and come in like a flood, as the scripture states on you Jakes. This devil is about to come in where Jake has never seen before. A lot of Jakes hear the scriptures, but they don't believe it. Even though they actually hear this devil talking about it's going to be a civil war, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Somehow Jake has it in his head that he has nothing to do with it. When in fact, even if you didn't have anything to do with it, you're going to be placed dead smack in the middle of it. Because contrary to what you Jakes believe, it has everything to do with you. The nation of Israel. But salvation is only for the elect. So, like I said, this devil's about to come in like a flood, because he knoweth he have but a short time. And he's going to take it out on you Jakes. He's already starting to take it out, on the northern kingdom. He's starting to look at the northern kingdom crooked eye, Shalakia, with these tribes that's coming up from South America, bad enough this devil already had a disdain for you so-called Issacharites, you so-called Mexicans. But now he's got it out for you so-called Venezuelans. And, it's nothing short of his hatred towards you kingdoms, bro. It's nothing short of this devil's hatred for Yasharallah. And it's nothing short of bringing judgment through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to you non-repentant 2/3. So, in a time of trouble, a lot of these people are just going to be caught out there, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, Shalakia, bro, I am not come to send peace on earth, but a sword. So what do you think's about to come? That sword, But in that, after this devil is done doing all that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, put in his power to do, the judgment is going to be brought back on him. The book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that has the power to kill. Keep me far from the man that has the power to kill. And And that's you Edomites and you 2/3 Jakes. Because when all hell breaks loose, a lot of you Jakes are gonna go on a killing spree yourselves. Us of the hopeful elect, we already know that Esau Edom is gonna go on that killing spree. So all we could do is pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai that he keeps us far from the man that has the power to kill. But this is more directed towards Esau Edom, so that thou shalt not doubt the fear of death. So if you stay far from, these devils or the wicked, then there's no doubt of death. Because the scriptures also say, let me get it. I don't want to butcher it because it's in the same chapter, but just further up. The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. I know it, but, I'm just drawing a blank right now. Never trust that. Yeah, Khan. It's a lock here. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. Well, actually, it's not in the same chapter. It's in a few chapters up, but, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So we're commanded not to trust these devils, because in a time of trouble, Jake is going to realize exactly who his enemy is. Jake already looks at other Jakes as being the enemies, but then during the time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be known who your enemy is, and you want to stay far from that man, and the scriptures say, and if thou come unto him, make no fault, at least he take away thy life presently, You know what I'm saying? If you approach these people, just understand that he's going to take away your life presently. And how we know that? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is letting us know that. And this is all a part of that knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time. Because if you know that this devil is the wicked, and you know his track record, and you're not ignorant to his devices, then you're going to automatically know that, this man is not to be trusted. But 2/3 of you Jakes have gone hand in hand, with this devil, But what the scriptures say, the wicked shall not go unpunished, You know what I'm saying? Because we're entering a time where, all hell is about to break loose. And this devil is going to use the fact that you don't even know he's your enemy, against you. He's going to use the fact that he's been gifted with the sword against you. He's going to use the fact that, Yahweh Shem Yahushai has given him the authority to do what he's going to do unto you 2/3. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to be with this. It's a lot. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to be with this man to do what Yahweh Shem Yahushai wants him to do. Which is to judge you 2/3, which is the sword of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's the time that's coming. Judgment. At least he take away that life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares. Yeah, we are amongst the battlements of the city, and you can't lose sight of that. You can't walk around day to day as if, you're not in a battle, a spiritual battle, because the scriptures say the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We're in this spiritual battle where, we have to fight against, the forces, that are spiritual. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures also say, be at peace with all men, So our attitude, is not to have that rah-rah spirit about us, but, to be circumspect, you know what I'm saying? To be circumspect of what time that you're in, because 2/3 are walking around this place as if they don't have a care in the world. Meanwhile, here it is, this devil is sharpening his sword, biting at the bits, waiting for that waiting for that day where, you know, he can just go all out on you jakes, you know, because what it say in the book of Sirach, you know. As a matter of fact, let me get it. Let me get it, because a lot of you jakes don't understand what time you're in and what's coming, you know, because this devil is about to let you have it. And it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 15. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. And we all know that the common sword today is the, you know, modern day pew, you know. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So nothing's going to be able to stop these devils from doing what they want to do when they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be it's going to be some horrible events going out there in the world that, you know, is going to drive men to fear. And if the men are fearing, as I always say, what more the women and children? You know, you haven't heard a man howl, you know. I mean, you might have, you know, if you watch these gory videos or whatever, but for the most part, most people haven't heard a man howl. But those days are coming, you know. Most people haven't seen, you know, the cruel intentions of war. But a lot of people are about to see it, because you have to put this shit into perspective. This man has been a war machine for its inception of this country. He has been the war machine of the earth. So all he's known is war. All this place has ever known was war. But you jakes haven't known war. You jakes don't understand, you know, the psychology of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't either, because I've never been in war, which is why I lean upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The elect is going to lean upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because these times that are coming, you know, you can only visualize how bad it's going to get based on the worst movie you've seen. And you try to multiply that by 10, and in some cases 100. But even in that, there is still no clear visualization on how bad it's going to get, because you're about to see some shit that has probably happened in the world, but you've never seen it. It's going to make your stomach curl. You know what I'm saying? You ever get that feeling when you see something and you know, you get that feeling in your gut like, oh, you know what I mean? Well, it's going to be that times 100. And it's going to get to the point where, you know, you're going to have to develop a spiritual callus for those things. You know? You're going to have to create that callus in your mind, you know, to understand that that's the body being afflicted. You know? The spirit's going to live on, but that's the body going through judgment. You know? And the elect is going to develop these skills, but the 2/3, they're not going to understand what's going on, you know, to have the time to actually consider these things. Some might, I guess, but, you know, initially, the overwhelming fear is going to take a lot of people by storm, you know, and a lot of people are just going to start bugging out. Reading on with the book of Sirach 9 and 13, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. So you got to understand that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a man of war, you know, and if he's a man of war, you know, the environment is a warlike environment where, you know, you got to constantly endure until the end. And one of the ways of enduring until the end is understanding who your enemy is, and understanding that, you know, this man has the power to kill, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai has given them that authority to whip you 2/3 ass, you know, during this time. The book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, for three transgressors of Edom, and for four, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So, after this devil is done accomplishing that which Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has given him the authority to do, judgment is going to be placed on him for doing it unto the nation of Israel. Judgment is going to be placed on him for what he's done to the earth. Judgment is what's going to be upon him for what he has done to Yahushua. So this this devil ain't going to get away unscathed. Judgment is going out on all men, the wicked, and the righteous, because you're going to be judged for what you've done in the flesh, and the wicked has done terrible things in the flesh, not only to himself, but to other people and animals. So, this devil's got a lot to pay for. But before that, he's going to rain fire on you 2/3 Jakes. I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. Yeah, this devil did it then. He's about to do it now. And he's about to come against Yasharallah with the sword, and did cast off all pity. It was what was just read to you. He should have no regard for his kings or princes. In the course of his actions shall lie in his hands. He's not going to listen to anything anybody's going to say, because he's going to have the authority to do what he wants to do and when he wants to do it. Well, with that comes a judgment behind it, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, because he looks at you, Jake, as being a problem, not understand that he's been a problem all along. This devil hates the fact that you're in his stolen land. He hates the fact that his women are turning to you. He hates the fact that his kids want to emulate you. He hates the fact that the world sees you as a very peculiar people. He hates the fact that you are who you are. He hates everything about you. He hates the fact that you have the blessing. He hates the fact that the kingdom to come is for Yasharallah. Again, this devil hates everything about you. So he hates you. He has a very strong disdain for you. Well, he has a very strong disdain for the nation of Israel. And he kept his wrath forever. It's not like, he was mad at you yesterday and he feels better about you today. No, the anger that he had for you yesterday has just increased today, because he's got to look at you in your fucking face while you're telling him what to do because you're his boss. He's got to look at you, go to the supermarket and buy the same food that he buys, if not better. He has to look at you, making more money than him in his kingdom. He's got to look at you on the come up when he's fallen. He's got to look at these things, and as a man, it does something to him. Well, as a wicked, it does something to him. And that's why this devil's going to come in like a flood, because he sees this as his last ditch effort to regain some sense of historical prevalence in the earth. But he doesn't understand this is the time of his end. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, because he had that anger forever, and has shed the blood of the children of Yasharallah by the force of the sword. And he's doing that today. And not only is he doing that today, he has destroyed Yasharallah so wickedly that a lot of times he ain't got to do it. He sits back and let you jakes off yourselves. which is all a part of his scheme as well. Which is why 2/3 of you jakes have got to go as well, because your whole head is sick. You don't understand the devices of this devil. You don't understand that this wicked has used you against you, you know, because you have wicked amongst Jake who have actually taught this devil their ways, you know, and this devil sat back and wrote some good ass fucking notes and used that information against you, you know. So I mean, again, you know, if you sit back and you think about who your enemy is, you know, it should be clear and cut. But 2/3 of you jakes don't want to listen to that, you know? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Yasharallah by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You know, you did it in the time when we left Egypt. You did it during the time of the Sumerian empire. You know, you did it throughout history, you know. I mean, you've always done it during the time when our calamity was upon us. Well, our calamity is going to be upon us again, and even in these times, you know, and you're going to shed the blood of Yasharallah in the time of the calamity of Yasharallah during Jacob's trouble, in the time that our iniquity had an end. You're going to do it again, and you're going to do it now. And what did Yahweh Shem Yahushua said? You know, he who liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. And you live by the sword, and you're going to die by the sword. You're going to die by your own instruments of death. You're going to be destroyed by your own ways, so to speak. You know? Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. You see, Yahweh Shem Yahushua got you, you know, Edomites in the trick bag. You know, here it is, you know, you people actually think that y'all going to make this place great again, when in fact it was never great. You know, it has always been that prison that Yasharallah had to serve in because we wanted to follow other nations. You know, it's always been that place where Yasharallah got his ass whooped. You know, and you don't understand your position in this place. And one of the positions that you've had in this place was, you know, to be that officer, you know, to be the warden, you know, to lay judgment upon, well, not lay judgment, but Yahweh Shem Yahushua lays judgment, but to carry out the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on the left-hand side, you know, because you are that whipping stick that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has used against us for a very long time. Well, now you're at an end, you know. The elect is waking up, you know, and that's all that matters. And once all the elect are awoke, then we're going to see our salvation in the land of our captivities, which is why even during this time, prophecies are going out where Yasharallah is remembering itself. And that's why, you know, they're attacking the 12 tribe sign. They got to attack that because they don't want you to ask, who am I? They don't want that question to be posed. They don't want you to sit back and ponder on the possibility that you might be. Because once you start pondering on the possibility of you might be, then you begin to sup with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And you start to ask questions. And then you start to get into the scriptures. And then you start to gain understanding. And then you start to fulfill prophecy. And they don't want that. So that's why they attack the 12 tribe side. They have to. You know? And when they realize that that's going to come to naught, they, you know, they're just going to pull a fucking plug on this thing and just go for broke and let their chips fall where they lie. And even in that, that's the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which still has him in that trick bag. You know? Because all of this is leading up to the MOTB. And the more of you who know who you are and what you should and shouldn't do, is the more it goes against their system. And they can't have that. They don't even know who Yasharala is amongst their own people, which is why they're cruel unto their own so-called kind that look like them. They might not even be them. You see what I'm saying? So this thing is deep, and this devil is about to let it all hang out. You know? So I'm going to read Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 6 again. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since, or sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So yeah, you know what I'm saying, during the time of Jacob's trouble, you're not going to be afraid of the blood that you spilled, because it's not yours. But the time is coming where that blood that's going to be spilled will be yours. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, I shall send forth fishers, and they shall fish them. And then afterwards he shall send forth hunters, and they shall hunt them out of every cave. You know? Well, that time is coming where certain men, certain elect men, are going to get spiritual powers, you know, to just fuck y'all up, you know? But you don't believe it, you know? But quite honestly, I don't give a fuck whether you believe it or not. It's true, you know? So with that, you know, I think the point's been made that, you know, not only is judgment coming upon you 2/3, but even greater judgment is going to come upon, you know, the wicked for doing what they've done unto the nation of Israel, you know. And in your prayers, you know, this goes out to the elect, and in your prayers, pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushua keep you far from the man that has the power to kill, you know, because this devil is about to come down at a terrible level, especially if they God don't get in. So with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Shalom.